Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Higher Vibes. It's your boy Jabron. I got these ducks out here with me right now. They're waiting for their bread. Dang, y'all got it here early. Look, I'm sorry. There's some juice pulp right there. You know what? I'm gonna keep talking about this while I go get some bread. So basically today, guys, I wanted to talk about the shadow. And basically what the shadow is the unhealed aspects of ourselves, usually as children. Let's see if we got some bread for these little duckaroos. Of course, we got the fruits, we got the juice stuff ready, of course, and we do have bread. So yeah, the shadow is parts of ourselves as children that we shove deep down our etheric body, shove down our throats in order to protect the ego. What is the ego? It's basically edging greatness out. It's the opposite of our soul. So when we're aligned with our soul, everything is in flow. Everything's so much easier. Yo, Mighty Ducks. Hold on, let me break this up. Here, I'm breaking bread with y'all. Should probably break it up a little more. So, yeah, the shadow. I know for me, it was so much, right? It was so much having to grow up with all this unhealed shadow work from when I was a child, right? Like, whenever I had something to say and I would be told, hey, shut your mouth, your opinion doesn't count. Who the fudge are you? And, those things really stick. Now, if you try to approach somebody and try to help them out with shadow work or, mainly people who are asleep, they're not yet quite awakening, they'll tell you to, screw off, leave them alone. And they keep these feelings like super stuck within themselves, and it comes out as sarcasm to people. It comes out as, being just super salty, super jealous, super envious of other people's situation. Like somebody sees someone pull up in a Porsche or a Ferrari, it's like, yo, how many babies did this person have to sacrifice to get to this level? Like, what? Maybe they just worked really hard, And my solution to dealing with shadow work, of course, there's many videos you can watch on YouTube, which are way better than mine, but this is what helped me. So basically, I'll get a pen and paper and I'll list down 3 different aspects of dealing and healing shadow work. And you got to write all this out, or else these emotions are going to stay inside of you. You're going to repress them, and they're going to come out at the worst opportune times. Weddings, family functions, events, important meetings, whatever, because it's never a set time or a pattern or period when it'll come out. It can, trust me, come out at the absolute worst times. So basically, for number 1, you guys should write down timing and place. Like, remember a certain time or a certain place, and this is something you can work on throughout your life. It's not a assignment that's due next week. You just keep working on this. This is pretty perpetual. So timing and place. So I wrote down cousin's wedding, 2012, when it was 2014. So basically, it was a bunch of my cousins, a bunch of people that I grew up with, and they're all talking, college degrees, what they're going to be making next year. Oh, I'm making 150K, looking at making 2, yada, yada, yada. And then comes around to me, and I'm a pretty confident guy most of the time. But I remember at this time, I was kind of being poked at, made fun of for, not finishing college, not having a real job, not having a solid, steady girlfriend or fiance or wife while everyone else did. And I remember that stayed, inside of me. And I was like, what was I, 20 something at that time, mid-20s. So I wasn't a child at that time, but it was still a wound that I just really started writing out and working out and started finally healing fully, or it's getting there. I started healing a majority of it. So write down as much detail as you can. You got to get all these emotions out, all right? So for number 2, I wrote people, specific people, and how they made you feel exactly. So again, I remember in like middle school, there was a buddy of mine, buddy, rival, fellow YouTuber now, great friend. I'm not going to mention his name, but you know, we were always neck and neck with competition, with everything. And I remember one day he just did the same thing, kind of called me out. It was kind of silly, but it's about, you know, basketball. We were just playing a game. You know, we got in a fight. I used to fight a lot playing basketball, you know. Anyways, he got tangled up. We got separated, and he just told me, like, you'll never make the NBA, man. You're crazy for thinking you're good. You suck. You suck. You stink. You know, that's the super G-rated version of kind of what happened, right? So I remember that stuck with me for a while, too, and it literally, physically affected my performance. Like, I wasn't able to hoop well for a minute. Like, you know, I could feel, like, basketball and sports in general is a game of confidence. Like, yeah, there's a lot of talented people. You can steady work on your talent, but it's a game of confidence. So don't let it shake your confidence, guys. Like, I wrote it all out just a couple of days ago, and I wrote for like an hour and a half just on that one part. And once you write all those aspects out and fully, you know, pretty much purge all of it out onto paper, it truly, truly, truly heals the heart. And I would recommend getting a paper and pencil. There's magic when the pen hits the paper and you have your fingers swirling. You can look all that up too. It's real. It's way better than typing it out or putting it on your phone. So pen and pad, old school, do it, please. It'll help you. All right, third and final step of this is feelings of frustration. Now, these don't have to be chronologically ordered at all. And like I said, it's a perpetual process. You can work on it throughout your whole life. You know, whenever you feel inspired or demotivated, whatever, like get to that pen and paper and acknowledge what's going on and write it out. Write out the feelings of frustrations. Again, for example, for me, I just wrote down the feelings of insecurity, the feelings of lack, like how I felt that I would never be good enough, how I felt certain people would never love me enough, how I felt that every time I truly love someone that I want to be with, it just seems like they don't want to be with me, you know? And all these feelings, unless we write it out, acknowledge them, and truly sit with ourselves to heal this inner work, it's going to catch up to us. And I was keeping it pretty face value, pretty G-rated, but, you know, there's way more traumatic events that people have gone through than this little shit that I'm talking about, you know, this baby back bullshit. But, yeah, there's way more traumatic experiences that I have written down also that I'm not quite comfortable sharing with y'all yet because I don't know y'all yet. No, I'm just kidding, but you guys get the gist, right? So yeah, write every single thing out, no holds bar, heal that inner child, y'all. Open up that sacral chakra, you know. Chakras are real, look them up. Energy centers, as Joe Dispenza calls them, look him up too. Great stuff, guys, and you know, this is a new age. This is a time where we have to heal. We have to heal to be able to mend relationships around us, mend ourselves. And that's really the only true way you'll start living a happy, abundant, carefree life and be in flow, or else there'll always be blockages. So that's step one to this whole process. Do the inner work. Heal that inner child, baby, because it's still in us. We all have that inner child within us. It's repressed right now. It's crying. I can hear it. I can hear your heart crying out for self-healing. I love you guys. Much love and light. Blessings to all of you. And have a great day.